Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel Skinny on Carbs. My name is Andrea, and on this channel I try to use my background in biology, histopathology and naturopathic medicine to help you live the life that you dream of and deserve. Okay, so I am out here. I just finished my weighted walk. I'm tired. I need to go get my watermelon meal, so I'm gonna try to give this to you guys as quickly as possible. Okay, so I wanted to give this to you guys because I noticed, and it's not new, I noticed people like to chase shiny things, right? People love the shiny things, they love the noisy stuff. You know, kids like the noisy toys. I get it. But if you guys want to be able to sustain your health and your weight loss, you have got to start going back to some basics, okay? The non-sexy basics, okay? The stuff that I'm always talking to you guys about, the non-sexy stuff, okay? You guys got to get back to some of those basics, because I see you guys chase a lot of these rabbit holes, like the FGF21 rabbit hole. The keto community did this, right? Built a whole movement around this where they were chasing ketones, okay? And so they built a whole thing around this, and we see that this type of stuff doesn't really have longevity, okay? The chasing the ketones thing doesn't really have much longevity. You see a lot of people, jumping ship from that because it's just not sustainable. And it's going to be the same thing with this FGF21, because these are stressors in the body, okay? When you're chasing ketones, you're telling the body that it's under stress and duress, and it has to manufacture ketones from fatty acids, which isn't an ideal fuel source, no matter what anyone wants to tell you. Is it a good fuel source? Sure it is, but it's not the ideal. So you can't do it long. You can't do it in perpetuity, okay? In order to maintain that ketosis, you can't have you can't have appropriate levels of protein, and you sure as hell can't have carbohydrates, because you've got to tell the body that it's under stress and it needs to make ketone bodies from the fats. All right, and it's this very similar thing that you're going to be doing with this FGF21, is that you are keeping your amino acid profile suppressed, and so again you're telling the body that it's under a certain amount of stress. And not only, I'm not going to go down the FGF21 rabbit hole. These things are coming from longevity science. I'm not sure why people are pulling it into the weight loss community, but it's just not what I would advise. And I advised against this whole candy pop diet that people were trying to implement, and we see how that one quickly burned. So let's see how long maybe they'll make a whole community out of this FGF21 thing. Who knows? But the results will show, just like the results showed with the keto community. It's going to show that you cannot sustain this stuff. In any event, I want to give you guys some very simple foundations to achieving your weight loss and to maintaining it, because it should be easy. It should be easy for everyone. That's just the fair thing, okay? You're in a body, you're in this realm, you're on this planet. It should be easy to get to your weight loss goals. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna give you 3 principles. The first one I'm gonna give you is gonna be foundational, and the other 2 principles are gonna piggyback off of the first one. And the first one is a body at ease. Your body has to be at ease. You have to communicate to your body that it's okay to lose weight. If your body is under stress and duress, it is going to hold on. It's going to want to hold on to weight. Now, can you lose weight under stress and duress? Yes, you can. You can lose weight under stress and duress. But the minute you ease up on that stress and duress, it's going to bring fat in. It's going to hoard fat like a mother. It's going to do it, okay? You are not smart. You're disciplined. You are nowhere near as disciplined as your body. You cannot think of your body as a cat. If any of you have ever had a cat, man, cats are disciplined, okay? They will wait you out. If they want to knock that vase off the shelf and you're standing there looking at it, it'll wait you out. it will wait you out. And the minute you blink, boom, that thing is off the shelf. You didn't even see it fall off the shelf. It just fell. You can't even blame the cat. You were standing right there. You didn't even see it fall. It just fell. Okay, think of your body in that way. The minute you ease up that stress and the rest, it's going to bring the fat back on with vengeance. You cannot outlast the smarts of your body. You cannot use stress and the rest. You can, but it is a poor tool. It is a poor tool for weight loss, and it's horrible for maintaining. Okay, and it's terrible for your longevity. So let's just go there. You just don't want to. Why would you want to? I mean, think about something as simple as cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone, okay? When you are upregulating your cortisol with stress from your thoughts, from your eating, from your emotions, from whatever, cortisol tells the body to store fat on the midsection, visceral fat. It wants to store fat in a place where the organs can easily access it if it needs to, okay? This is what you're doing. And cortisol and insulin do not play nicely together. So what you're also doing when you upregulate cortisol is you're messing with your sugar metabolism, which you don't want to do because you need to be able to metabolize your sugars in order to maintain some weight loss. Meaning you want your mitochondria to be nice and functional in order to maintain your weight loss. Something else that cortisol does in the body, it interrupts or interferes with the conversion with your thyroid hormone conversion. Okay, so everybody wants to gain or upregulate their basal metabolic rate. They want to increase the metabolism. Okay, that's a function of the thyroid. And if you are interfering with the hormones, the conversion hormones, your T3, T4 conversions, then what you're doing is you are making you're slowing your metabolic rate down, which is counterproductive to what you say you want. All right? It's counterproductive to metabolic health, because metabolic health is mitochondrial health. Mitochondrial health is metabolic health. It's basal metabolic rate. It's all one thing. It's all tied together. And this is just off of cortisol. I'm not even talking about other stress hormones. You got tons of other stress hormones. Well, not tons, but you have other stress indicators in the body. You have tons of other stress indicators in the body. And I just told you about one. I just told you about cortisol. You want the body to be at ease, okay, in order to lose weight. Second principle, which feeds into the first foundational one, is you want easy digestion. Nobody wants to. Everything I'm going to tell you right now is so simple and easy. You're going to be like, that's it. But it's the simple things that get you the results. I promise you, it's the simple things that get you the results. Easy digestion. Easy digestion is a huge indicator of something, okay? If you have hard digestion, if you are eating hard to digest foods, complex nutrition, if you're eating greasy foods, fatty foods, high fatty foods, fat slows digestion down, by the way, then you are impairing your vagal tone, okay? What's your vagal tone? Your vagal tone is how deeply your vagus nerve can induce a parasympathetic response in the body, meaning rest and digest, meaning putting your body at ease, right? We're going back to the first foundational principle, which is your body needs to be at ease. Well, deep stimulation of the vagus nerve, or your parasympathetic side of your nervous system, puts the body at ease. It signals the hypothalamus. It signals the HPA axis, okay? It tells your body it's okay. So now your thyroid can function properly. All right? If you're eating easy to digest foods, or if you're eating foods that are encouraging a good microbiome, which makes digestion easy, if you're eating foods that encourage a good microbiome, then you're producing certain neurotransmitters, right? Serotonin, GABA. These things signal the brain, the hypothalamus, that HPA axis, that everything's okay. It's all right to lose weight. Similarly, if you're eating foods that are encouraging dysbiosis, meaning you're eating foods that are just pure sugar, or you're eating just oils on a keto diet, or you're eating just meat on a carnivore diet, you are encouraging dysbiosis in the gut, okay? You are not encouraging look at this huge mosquito. You are not encouraging a nice, diverse community in your gut microflora. And so that imbalance, those just the same way that your good microbiomes are producing neurotransmitters, that dysbiotic gut is also producing something as well. And it's producing metabolites and chemicals that signal stress in the brain. Hypothalamus picks that up, shoots it to your thyroid, tells your thyroid, we're under stress. You can't put out too much of those hormones, and it signals your adrenals to pump out cortisol as well. Now you've got fat storage going on. Now your insulin isn't playing very well because you're pumping out cortisol. Remember, I told you cortisol and insulin don't really play well together. So now you've got sugar metabolism issues going on as well. So easy digestion, good digestion is a huge indicator as to whether or not you are going to be successful at losing and maintaining weight loss. Notice I said I'm giving you both sides, not just losing weight. Like I said, I can put you on the crack cocaine diet, right? You're going to lose tons of weight. You could probably even maintain that weight if you stay hooked on the crack. But the minute you ease up off that crack, that stuff's going to come flooding right back, okay? So I'm trying to be funny, but it's for real. It's for real, okay? All right. Third foundational principle is you got to put your macros in perspective. What do I mean by you got to put your macros in perspective? It's not about running from the macros. It's about understanding what their place is in the whole grand scheme of things, okay? And when I say macros, what am I talking about? I'm talking about protein, fats, and carbs, okay? And those are the gross complex versions of what your body actually uses, which is fatty acids, amino acids, proteins, fatty acids, fats, and simple sugars, carbohydrates, okay? That's what your body is going to actually be using in the simple forms, right? So you got to understand what place they are, put them in a proper place. One should be for fuel, the other two are building blocks. Which one is the fuel? Carbohydrates are the fuel. They are the fuel source. Amino acids and fatty acids, those are builders, those are structural, those are functional. They're not the fuel source. Can they be used as fuel? Yes. Should they be used as fuel? Not all the time. Notice I didn't say never. I said not all the time. You have metabolic flexibility, meaning you already possess the ability to be able to use any one of those for fuel. You don't need to become a fat burner. You don't need to become an amino acid burner. Even though you don't burn amino acids, you burn glucose. You convert the amino acids via gluconeogenesis into glucose. You already possess the ability to do these things. You don't need to try to make yourself do this, okay? You can already do this. What you need to do is you need to just feed your mitochondria the preferred fuel source and use the other two macros where they belong, which is building blocks, okay? The hard tissue stuff, the hard stuff, okay? That's where the fats and the proteins belong, is in the building materials, not in the fuel source. So if you put it in that perspective, you should understand that you need mostly fuel in your diet because you need to fuel all processes in the body. You must fuel, I think I just inhaled a bug. You need to fuel all the processes. In your car, you put more fuel than you do oil. The oil is functional to the engine, okay? The oil is functional. But the fuel is the gasoline. The gasoline is the fuel. So you put more fuel because you burn that. That's what you are burning constantly. The building materials are not burnt. The building materials are used and they are recycled. That's something else that nobody talks about, okay? Nobody tells you about. They make you think that you constantly need to supply all this great amount of fatty acids and all this great amount of protein. And there is a time in your life where you do need larger amounts of that. That's in your anabolic growth phase, when you're growing up, okay? When you're growing up and you're in a sort of constant anabolic phase, meaning growth phase, you need more of those things. However, you still don't need it mostly in your diet. You just need more comparatively because you're in a building phase. But at some point, right, that slows down and your body recycles. Your body recycles protein, it recycles fatty acids. You're not burning them. You're not combusting them the way you are combusting carbohydrates, meaning you're burning them, so you constantly need to put it back in. Just like you're combusting your gasoline, you need to put the gasoline in constantly. And you just change out your oil whenever, right? It's the same thing with the fats and the proteins. Those are functional, okay? You need to put some in to replace some of those, but your body can recycle a lot of it, and your body can even build. You make amino acids. Everybody talks as if you know not all of the amino acids are essential. You have some essential amino acids that must come from the diet, and others you make from raw materials that you eat. Minerals, vitamins, so forth. All right, so put your macros into perspective. Carbs have to be the highest one that you eat because that's your fuel source, okay? And you don't run from fats and you don't run from proteins. You just put them into their rightful place. Okay, so how do you do this? How do you achieve, or how do you actually implement these principles? How do you do this? Well, you want to put the body at ease. You want to eat easily digestible foods. You don't want to stress it out. And you want to eat your macros in their proper perspective. The easiest way I've ever found to do this is to eat human food, okay? Fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, nuts and seeds. And if you're inclined to eat animal products, very small amounts of animal products, okay? There are people that are long-lived that do eat animal products, and I know that's sacrilege for somebody like me who eats plants exclusively to say something like that, but I told you guys already, I am not a liar. I'm going to tell you what I know, okay? And what I know is that when you eat easily digestible foods that are easy to break down, easy to absorb, and easy to assimilate, it encourages a good microbiome, it reduces stress hormones, okay? And it makes it very easy for your mitochondria to function and for your body to assimilate and utilize the materials that it's getting. When your body is in that space, it does not hold weight. The holding of weight is a direct, not indirect, it is a direct representation of stored stress, okay? It remembers the stress. So even if you lose all that weight under stress, it remembers, it will bring it back on the minute you ease up. That is what weight represents. Directly, not indirectly, not fluff, not airy-fairy, directly, hard, mechanistic. I could give you hard mechanistic models for this. Stress is a terrible way to try to maintain weight loss. Your body needs ease. You have to give your body easily digestible foods. You have to maintain a good microbiome in the gut. You have to maintain a nice quick bowel transit time, because fat oxidation is a detox event, And your body needs to be able to handle the toxins in the fat when it burns. And so you need to have a nice fast bowel transit time in order for your liver to conjugate those toxins and dump the toxins right into your colon so that you can excrete it in your bowel movements. All these things are tied together. And they're so easy, but nobody wants to look at things in an easy way. Everybody wants to make everything complex because that's what sells, okay? That's what gets views. But you guys aren't those. That's not your thing. You're here because you want the easy path, and there's nothing wrong with the easy path, okay? Easy doesn't always mean quick, but it means you won't be under stress and duress. Something bit me. I don't know what did, but it did bite me. I want to scratch it so bad. I want to scratch it, but I can't. I'm on camera because of where it bit me. Anywho's it. Stress sells. Sensationalizing things sell, okay? It's to people's advantage to stress you out and incite certain brain chemical reactions to keep you coming and to make you suggestible, okay? That's why they do it. That's why they sensationalize you, because they understand psychology and they understand that by sensationalizing you, you're highly suggestible, okay? They put you in a highly suggestible state for a reason, because they can gain from it. It's profitable. They can sell you things. They can sell you their cure. They can sell you their answer. That's how they do this to you. But I'm here to tell you that weight loss and health does not have to be hard. Does it take effort? Yes, it does. Is it going to take some effort to eat these easily digestible foods that I'm talking about? Yes, it will. It's going to take some effort because a lot of you just do not have the microbiome to handle the fibers that are in these foods. And so when you first start out, you're going to be bloated. You're going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. But it's a phase. You know what I'm saying? There's always a phase. And it's not going to last for just a week or a month. It takes a very long time to establish a microbiome. If you use antibiotics, do you know it takes you about a year or two to reestablish a good foundational microbiome? A year or two. And some of you guys eat fruits and veggies for a week and you say, I'm sick of it. I'm done because I'm bloated. Well, how long do you want to maintain your weight loss? Do you want to maintain your weight loss for just as long as it took you to lose the weight? Because that's how it's going to go for you. Okay? If that's your level of commitment, then your weight loss isn't going to stay very long because you're not committed to it. You're committed to the stress and the drama and the process, but you're not committed to the actual result in and of itself. You're not. Okay? So don't think that you're just going to eat an apple today and by tomorrow you're going to have a good gut microbiome and that you're going to be able to eat 10 apples tomorrow and it's going to feel great. No, it's not. It takes time. You have to learn the nuances of building and encouraging a good gut microbiome in order to be able to handle those things. Okay? You need to have other lifestyle practices in place in order to assist with your current poor sugar metabolizing mechanisms. A lot of you can't metabolize your sugar very well. So you need to have other lifestyle stuff going on. For instance, you need to move more, you need to walk more, you need to encourage certain have those things in exercise in order to encourage mitochondrial health. You need to sleep, you need to go to sleep early, you need to space out your eating. Don't eat so often. You know what I'm saying? You know, eat 3-4 times a day. Have a couple of hours in between those meals. Have a fast in between those meals so that you give the gut microbiome time to digest the food that you just ate. What else? You need to go out into the sunlight like I am right now. Expose your skin, expose your eyes, stimulate your hypothalamus so that you can stimulate your HPA axis properly. You need to get up and get sunlight in those eyes very early in the mornings, okay? I'm just looking at my neighbor over there. There are a whole host of other things that you can do to help to encourage the results that you want that goes even beyond just eating the fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are foundational, okay? Because they are, and in their raw form. You know, as much as you can tolerate it. I'm not saying that you have to go out and eat a whole slew of raw vegetables tomorrow and blow yourself to the moon. Okay? But you need to learn the art, because it's an art. There's science behind it, but there's an art to building the gut microbiome. So you need to take the time and learn that art. This is what you say you want. I don't say I want. I already got it. I don't need to say I want it. I did the work. I put the effort in and I got the results, okay? And what I'm saying is you can do it too. It's not actually hard. What's hard is your mentality. That's what's hard, okay? It's not the doing that's hard. It's the mentality. It's changing your mentality. It's changing your mentality. It's understanding that it's not that hard. You can do it. Put a little effort. Figure out the art behind it. Play around with the art. Know that it's going to feel sucky some days and great other days. For instance, I've been doing this for so long. Plant-based for 20 years. Raw for 12. Okay, it's not as long as other folks. There are some people that have been in this game for 30, 40, 50 years. You have 90-something-year-old people raw for 60 years, okay? So I'm a baby in this, really, if you think about it. But for as long as I've been doing it, you'd think that I know how to eat to energetic sufficiency, aka meet my caloric needs. Okay, so for instance, yesterday I did not meet my caloric needs. I did not, because life happened. I got busy. I didn't meet and I knew quite early on that I didn't meet my caloric needs because I know how to sense the subtle cues. Okay, I trained myself to figure out how to feel those subtle cues and not wait until I'm in a huge slump, because by the time the slump comes, you're far past where you need to be. But I didn't, even though I felt the subtle cues, I still didn't honor them and I didn't act on it because I was so busy with the other thing that I was doing. And my God, I felt horrible by the evening. I felt terrible. Okay. Now I was able to pull through because this is not something that I usually do. This is not a normal occurrence for me. Okay. And I wasn't scared that I crashed my metabolic rate because of one day of not meeting my energetic needs. That's not how it works, you know? So I didn't need to be scared about my glycogen storages and shove food into my mouth. You know what I did? I just laid the hell down. I went to sleep. I just went to sleep. I just stopped everything in the evening and I went to bed. And when I woke up, I was hungry and I ate. And that's how I did it, okay? And today I suspect, because that's usually how it goes, and today I suspect that I'm going to be eating a lot more, okay? And I'm going to honor that. I'm going to eat. All right? And that's just how it goes. Your body is smart. Your body is smart. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about you know, unless you're doing something chronically, like over time, you don't have to worry about fucking it up too much. But if you're doing something consistently over time, you know, even if it's for a few months, a few weeks, you can really cause some serious damage that you're going to have to backtrack from. You can backtrack from a lot of things, but why give yourself that burden? Why do it? Okay? Make it easy for yourself. It is easy. All right? So those are my 3 principles. You got to put your body at ease. You need to make sure you're having really good optimal digestion and good bowel transit time. And you need to put the macros into perspective and understand where they fit into your biological system. And then that will guide you as to how to use the macros appropriately and not be afraid of any one of them. Okay? All right. I hope you guys found something of value in that long ass video that I just did. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, move along. Don't give it a thumbs down. And share this information with anybody that you think needs to hear it, okay? Because we want to help as many people as we can. We don't want people getting trapped in the shiny things, all right? So, peace and love, you guys.